Hello, so welcome to another reading vlog. I feel like I've gotten really out of the habit of vlogging my reading. I don't know how that happened, but let's restart the habit. This week is the last week of the Owls, so I only have one more to go actually, because yesterday I listened to the whole audiobook of Mockingjay, the last book in the Hunger Games. I really enjoyed it. I think the first half was up to the standard of the first two books, but then the action wasn't as good as the first two books, and the ending, I mean the epilogue was really unnecessary, but it was an okay ending to the series, I guess. And since I finished it, that means I was able to tick off Care of Magical Creatures. So then the only owl that I have left to worry about is Muggle Studies, for which I am reading Amy, my daughter, Amy Winehouse's father's book about her. I'm actually not reading this though. I'm listening to the audiobook, which I realized I could get. So I think I've listened to a couple of hours of it so far. I'm going to go for a walk in a moment and try and finish that off tonight, because I'm not sure that I'll get much done tomorrow. So on Thursday, it's actually my birthday. We're still in lockdown. Like, New Zealand just moved from level 4 to level 3 lockdown, so we're slightly less locked down, but mostly still locked down. So probably not going to do much for my birthday, but Jason might come around and I'll get to see him for like the first time in a month, more, a long time. Anyway, that will be nice, but I probably won't get much reading done for a couple of days. So I'm going to try and finish this off so that I will have completed my owls, and then after all my birthday fun, I think I might try and like focus on reading all the ebooks that I've got. There is also a chance that my Switch will turn up this week. So if you've been following along, I got the new Animal Crossing game, but I didn't get my Switch, and then they weren't able to deliver it because of the lockdown. But now that we're in level 3 rather than level 4 lockdown, they're able to deliver it. They say that it's going to ship on Thursday, but I'm not sure that I completely believe them. So it might come this week, it might come next week, but at least we're getting closer. Oh, the other thing that I do need to read today is I've got the ebook of Circe, which I have been reading. To be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed in it. I really liked the beginning. So Circe is a witch from Greek mythology, and the idea was that this is her story, but I kind of feel like it's not really her story, or it was a little bit in the beginning, but then most of what happens is actually about the different men that she's sleeping with, and not really that much about her, which has been a little bit disappointing for me. As well, it's a little bit slow, but I think I'm nearly finished that, so I'm going to try and finish that tonight as well. So I am having a fairly unproductive post-birthday day. My birthday was nice. Jace came around and we had takeaways, which was like the first time I've had takeaways. So we had Domino's and Burger King, great birthday meals. But the first time I've had any of that for like over a month, so that was nice. And we went for a nice walk in the park, and it was just nice to see him again, obviously. And then also in the afternoon, my mum and my sister came around, and I made them sit at the opposite end of my outside table from me because they're not in my bubble yet. And they passed presents across the table to me. Also, my sister bought me a couple of her books to borrow, so these I probably should have put on my May TBR, but I will get to them at some point. They're not too big, although the writing in them is pretty small, so hopefully I'll be able to get to those at some point soon. Otherwise, my birthday, we did have like a family chat with my brother who's over in Australia. And it was just nice actually to have quite a relaxed birthday with not too much. That's my favorite kind of birthday. And I got ice cream and chocolate to have later as well, so that's all you need for your birthday, really. So other than that, I did also manage to, I forget which day, finish the audiobook for Amy off. So that means that I've completed my owls. I managed to get my qualification to become an alchemist. So yay me. I will say, as far as Amy goes, I felt like the whole time he's trying to make out like he's a super great dad, but it's also surface level that it doesn't come across as believable, and it's also not that interesting because it just comes across as him not even knowing his daughter very well, so then you're not getting any insights about her, so what's the point? And then the second half is just like this endless cycle of him trying to help her with her alcohol and drug problems, her getting better, her getting worse, her getting better, her getting worse. It's like round and round and round. It's so repetitive. It got quite boring, especially since unfortunately you know the outcome. And it just, a lot of the time he was focusing on how difficult it was for him rather than seeming genuinely concerned about her. So yeah, not that great a read really, and I'm not sure that it achieved what he was trying to achieve with it, although he probably made some money, so maybe that's all he wanted. That's very cynical, but whatever. Also, I did manage to finish off Circe. I think what I said the other day is probably still true. Like the bits where it was her story I really loved, but a lot of it just didn't really seem to be. And obviously her final kind of romance is not one that I was into, but like it's Greek mythology, so you're gonna get these really weird relationships. That's what Greek mythology is about. I did think though that it is really beautifully written. I think if you like Greek mythology, it's really interesting to see how she's managed to weave in all the different mythological stories into this main story. Like in a lot of ways I thought it was really great, but I just think that somehow I wanted more from it. Maybe it's just because everyone hyped it up so much that I got unrealistic expectations. Anyway, right now I am being really lazy. I'm supposed to be getting a supermarket delivery, and I'm pretty much just not going to do anything at all productive until that turns up because I've run out of food, and so that's going to be my dinner, but it's possible they won't show up till like after 4. They might show up soon. Who knows? It's great. I am also constantly refreshing the page of the company which I ordered my Switch from. They're currently saying it's in stock and they're expecting to process it today, but will they? I don't think I'm going to be getting it until at least Monday, but you never know. We'll see what happens, I guess. I did also, this morning I went for a walk and I started reading A Pinch of Magic by Michelle Harrison, which, no, not A Pinch of Magic, A Sprinkle of Sorcery, which is the sequel to A Pinch of Magic, and I'm really enjoying it. I think I actually like it more than the first book. I think I got about halfway through it and there's quite a few twists and turns, and the girls, it's about these girls who learn that they have these different magical items that they've inherited through their family, and they live on this prison island. It's just a nice middle grade family magical story with pirates. I'm enjoying it. I do think, like right now I'm just going to watch some Supernatural and be lazy until the supermarket delivery comes, but I will also later today try and be somewhat productive, maybe film my wrap up, maybe do some work study. I'm also going to start reading some of my library ebooks, so I've got 2 Locke and Key graphic novels that I want to get through. I've got The Lady Astronaut of Mars, and I've got Shiver by Junji Ito. I mean, I kind of want to say I want to read all of those today, but we'll see. That's probably not realistic, but we'll see. So, I have been very unproductive today, and now it's like 7:30 and I could probably still do something productive, but I've told myself that there's no more time, like I couldn't possibly do anything, so I've just decided whatever, I'll try and fix my productivity tomorrow. And right now I'm just gonna read Shiver. So I've got Shiver by Junji Ito on my iPad, and we'll see how far I can get through that. But I thought I would update you on my reading because I have gotten a bit of reading done. So last night I did read those 2 Locke and Key graphic novels, and they're very short. So the Dog Days one especially is really short. The dog it's kind of got a few stories in it. The Dog's Day one is just really cute. Basically, there's a beast key where you can use it to turn into a beast, but instead these kids have used it to turn their dog into a person, and they're just like hanging out with their dog, who is a kid, but he's really weird because he's a dog. It's super cute. And then there's a little story about kind of the family from the main graphic novel series and what's happening with them after the events of the main graphic novel series. And then there was like a little sampler of a different Joe Hill thing that I didn't really like, so I'm just pretending it doesn't exist. Then in the other one, Lock and Key Heaven and Earth, so the first story is following some of the ancestors of the Lock and Key family, and it's this family where one of their sons has a brain tumor and he's really sick and having an awful time, and so they make a key so that they can take him somewhere where he can be happier. And that was like kind of heartbreaking and beautiful, which then contrasted really weird with the next story, which was called Grindhouse, which starts with these like really violent and horrible criminals, which was very jarring after just finishing off with that really sweet and beautiful ending of the other story. But so it's these horrible criminals, and they end up going to the key house, and they're wanting to rape the woman and just attack everyone and not be very nice. And then the Lock and Key family it's the ancestors as well, this one actually. So they use the keys in order to basically take down these criminals. And I really like that actually. I'd love to get some more stories with that part of the family. So maybe we will at some point. And I think and then there was another one just with the family, a stupid one really, about them finding a key in an outhouse out in the forest. But I do think I like that second one better. Then as well, I read the short story for The Lady Astronaut of Mars, and that was really beautiful. So it's basically following the main character from The Calculating Stars, except that she's 63 and she's trying to decide whether she should stay with her dying husband or whether she should go on one final space mission. And that was also really heartbreaking, like her dealing with her husband. He's really sick, and it's just kind of awful, but it's also just a really lovely story. Heartbreaking but lovely. I almost gave it 5 stars even. Maybe it deserves 5 stars, I'm not sure. But it was a beautiful, really short little story. Then, as well, so this morning I went on a big walk, accidentally big, because I kind of just went exploring to a place that I've never been before, and then I was just so focused on exploring that I went too far. So by the time I got back, I was really tired, and that's probably why I've been so unproductive today. But while I was on my walk, I did finish off a sprinkle of Sorcery, and I did really find that to be a really fun little middle grade, and I think I would really recommend it. Like A Pinch of Magic, it wrapped things up really well, so who knows what the third book in the trilogy is going to be about, but I am really interested to read it. This one we had like this girl with a will-o'-the-wisp, and she was on the run, and also the youngest daughter of these 3 sisters got kidnapped, and they were trying to save her as well as helping this other girl with the will-o'-the-wisp. I will say it kind of was a little bit weird because there were those 2 main things going on, and so about halfway through they resolved one of the problems, and then it took me a moment to be like, oh yeah, that's right, we've now got to get back to the other problem that we were trying to solve. But still, I really enjoyed it. And then after I finished that audiobook, I started It's Okay That You're Not Okay. I'll put it around here somewhere. Basically, it's a book about grief and about how it's okay to feel grief when bad things happen. So I had this recommended to me in a webinar I went to about this whole pandemic and about how people are feeling grief about having lost the lives that they thought they were going to have during this time. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it, because the introduction was basically trying to say these are the ways that people think about grief, but it's wrong, you should be thinking this other way instead. But I already think the other way, so either the book's going to be great because I agree with the ideas in it, or it's going to be boring because it's already just what I think. Either way, I'm hoping that I'll get something out of it to help me help other people with their grief. Who knows, but I should be able to finish that off in the next day or so, because I think it's pretty short. Anyway, I feel like that was a long update because I got quite a bit read. So I'm gonna go and do some more reading. Okay, so it's already 10 o'clock and I haven't done much of anything yet, like not even really gotten dressed, but my plan for today is to try and be productive because my Switch is currently at the courier depot and they're estimating that it'll be delivered somewhere between Monday and Wednesday. What I want to try and do is get everything done today so that if it does arrive tomorrow, I can just like drop everything and spend a day playing Animal Crossing. So also today it's like a really rainy, horrible day, so instead of going out for my normal morning walk, instead I'm going to like run around my house and do as much housework as I can for the morning, and then in the afternoon maybe I'll do some more housework and some booktube video stuff, and I'm not sure what else I need to get done. Maybe I should put together a list. But we're gonna be productive. Reading wise, last night I did read the whole of Shiver, although I was real tired by the time I got to the last story. I only just managed to keep my eyes awake. But I don't think it gave me crazy nightmares, which I was a bit afraid of. Definitely all the stories are really creepy and weird, and there's some ones like trigger warnings for suicide and probably lots of other gross things. But I just really love the creepy concepts and they're just cool. So I'm glad I've read that. I think that later on today I'm gonna try and pick up, how does my Kindle even work? Not like that. No, stop it. I'm gonna try and read The Cat Who Ate His Tail by Jacqueline Simon Gunn. Don't think it's very long. How do you get this to tell you how many pages? Oh, I'm such a Kindle noob. Anyway, I'm gonna try and read that. And hopefully finish that today. Oh, also, while I do my housework, I'm going to listen to audiobooks. So I'm going to keep listening to It's Okay That You're Not Okay. And hopefully I can get that listened to all today. Anyway, I'm going to go and become some kind of productive human being. Okay, productive human being Penny here. I've decided I'm going to stop listening to It's Okay That You're Not Okay. I think that I can see how it would be a useful book for a lot of people, but honestly it's just making so many assumptions about what I think and then trying to convince me that I shouldn't think that when I never thought that in the first place, and it's just making me really grumpy about how many assumptions it's making. And I don't disagree with a lot of the things it's saying, it's just the way that it's written is really confrontational and I don't want that. I don't know, it's kind of weird because it's saying that when people are feeling grief that there's nothing wrong with that and you shouldn't be trying to fix them because the way that they're feeling, like that's just the way they feel, and that part of the way that people treat people who are grieving is that they need to fix them and that's why people don't like it. But then all this is trying to do is like tell me I'm wrong, and anyway, delete all of that because it probably doesn't make sense, but this is annoying me, so I'm gonna return it. I'm not sure if I'll rate it. Maybe I just won't even rate it. I could definitely see it being useful for some people. Anyway, instead, the next audiobook I have is Scrappy Little Nobody by Anna Kendrick. So this is like her autobiography, and hopefully it will be fun. It's only 6 hours, so that should be quick. Yeah, I just finished filming my wrap-up. It took me like an hour, and I'm tired now, and I still have to edit it, which my wrap-ups are always, since I've started doing the book battle format, they take a lot longer to edit, but never mind. I also came up with this weird whiteboard solution for my lighting. So I use this just pathetic desk lamp for lighting, but I put my whiteboard up there and I think it made it better. I'm all about the lighting hacks rather than actually getting a proper lighting solution. Anyway, while I was doing housework before I started filming, I finished off listening to Anna Kendrick's Scrappy Little Nobody, and I quite enjoyed it, although I felt like there was a big bit in the middle that was just filler to pad it out a bit. And the second half, well, I don't think it was the half, but the bit at the end felt a little bit like it was trying to be a self-help book, which was weird. Basically, I liked the very beginning when she was talking about her life and how she got into becoming an actress. Some of the stuff around being an actress and going to all the awards show was less interesting, but that's probably just because I find that stuff less interesting. And then after that, I didn't really care that much, although maybe that was just because I just pretty much listened to this whole audiobook in one go. And I don't actually know what I'm going to listen to next. So I do have the audiobook for Crucial Conversations, which Read with Cindy was suggesting. Although I think I might try and read that more spread out rather than one go. I also have the audiobook for Fool's Errand, but I think I want to save that for Tome Topple, because I'll want a longer audiobook for Tome Topple. And then I don't have any other audiobooks yet. I have to wait for some to come through. Oh well. I guess I won't read any audiobooks until next week anyway. Well, I do want to have some to listen to while I play Animal Crossing. So hopefully some of my holds come through. Anyway, I'm going to have some dinner and get onto editing, and then maybe I'll get to reading my ebook. Hi, so Monday me here to wrap up this vlog. Last night I did get to about page 40 of The Cat Who Ate His Tail, which was not as far as I was hoping to get because I was mucking around. But I am enjoying it so far. We've basically got this cat who is a little bit more insecure than I like. I prefer those really arrogant cats, but he still is very cat-like, so I'm enjoying that. As well, he's got this new owner that he's growing to really love, and then the new owner has this asshole boyfriend, and I'm just waiting for that boyfriend to get his comeuppance, and I just feel like it's going to be so satisfying, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm going to continue that next week. But I realized that I actually read 9 things this week, which is kind of crazy. So firstly, I finished off Amy and Mockingjay for the OWLs Magical Readathon. Then I finished off Circe, which also counts into last month's reading. And then this month, I admit a lot of the stuff I've read for this month is really short, but still, I read 2 Locke and Key graphic novels, I read a Junji Ito graphic novel, I read The Lady Astronaut of Mars short story, I listened to Anna Kendrick's autobiography, and I listened to the audiobook of A Sprinkle of Magic. So, that's actually ridiculous. Probably I need to be reading less and doing more other stuff, because I admit this week I definitely wasn't very productive with other stuff. But hey, it was my birthday week, so I'm allowed to have a week of relaxing. Unfortunately, it wasn't a week of relaxing with my Switch, which I'm still waiting for, but still, I had a really good week. So as always, thank you for hanging out with me this week. Let me know if you've read any of the books I read this week and what you thought about them. Otherwise, I hope that you're having a really wonderful day, keeping safe, and I will see you next time.